Okay, so now you meet Lefty. Now, Lefty and Mirror couldn't be, more opposite in personalities and the way they were with you. What was unique about Lefty and your relationship with him?
Mirror, you could never get close to Mirror.
Was that with most of them or no? Was it just how Mirror was?
That was just Mirror.
Most people didn't like Mirror.
Not yet, no.
Yeah.
Lefty hated him. Everybody. I mean, to be honest with you, most guys hated him because he had no respect for anybody.
Women, girls,
None at all.
Peers, friends.
No,
yeah.
no. But he made so much money.
Yeah. So Lefty. So now you meet Lefty.
So I was the best man at his wedding, and I met his daughters, and I used to go to his house. Part of my legend was I was an orphan, okay, so I had no family.
But real life, you're not. Real life,
No,
you're.
no, but-
And by the way, were you close to your father yourself?
Yeah, sure.
Very good relation. No issues with father at all. Got it. So your legend is you're an orphan. And I remember that part when your father was in the military and he got shot by the Japs, and that's the scene in the bathroom where you're like, I'm not taking off my shoes. So okay, so you say this to Lefty.
I would go to Lefty's house for dinner on Sundays.
In that world, Sunday, if you go there, that's family. You're not.
Yeah,
It's like the pinnacle.
Yeah.
So now, at what point was it when you and Lefty get really close, past that, where it's like, I know you're going Sundays and it's family. When was it when the first time he told you, says, listen, I have your back, you're my guy, I love you, we're gonna do this together, we're gonna take over the world together. When was that?
Lefty was running book for the underboss of the Bonanno family. He brings me in, and of course he introduces me to Nicky Marangello, who was the underboss.
Nicky is not Nicky Mout. That's a different Nicky, right? You're talking about the complete different Nicky.
This is Nicky Classic, Nicky Marangello. He's the underboss of the Bonannos. So Lefty brings me to Nicky, says Donnie's going to be working with me in the operation. Well, now it's maybe 4 months or something, and these guys see me every day. I'm talking to them, having dinner with them or lunch or whatever. The FBI had another undercover operation going out in Milwaukee.
Simultaneously?
Yeah.
So this is the one that they said, we want you to kind of help the other guys out?
Exactly. My whole mindset in undercover is only one person saves your life, and that's you, the undercover. SEAL Team 6, HRT, they could be on the other side of that door, but by the time you shoot me, it's what? Action versus reaction. The action is you shooting me. The reaction is them coming through the door. You see what I'm saying? Not that they're not doing their job.
Who wins? Action wins.
That's exactly right. Action wins.
Yeah.
So my whole mindset was, I save my own life. Every undercover has to look out for their own security. Don't depend on somebody else, right? So my first question is, who's the undercover? So I know the undercover. In fact, I had worked, the undercover that was in Milwaukee.
Yeah.
I had worked with him before.
So you have this Milwaukee deal.
Right, I know the undercover. I say, sure, but I got to talk to Tony. That was his undercover name. I got to talk to Tony. So me and Tony meet. He tells me about the operation, et cetera, et cetera. I can't just go to Lefty, because I got to go to Lefty first. Right? I can't just go to Lefty and say, hey, Lefty, I know a guy out in Milwaukee. He's got a great business we ought to go do. Because I got to distance again, I got to distance myself if anything happens. I just bring up in a conversation, hey, Left, geez, I got a call out of the blue from this guy that I knew from 10 years ago. The guy was a great thief. He doesn't do any reaction. All right. I let maybe a week go by, and then I bring the same conversation up. And finally says, well, what's this guy do? I says, he's trying to start a vending machine business. The first thing he says, is he effing crazy? They'll blow him up out there. He says, you can't just start a vending machine business, he said. That's controlled. What's this guy got? So I said, well, he tells me he's got trucks, he's got vending machines, he's got offices.
It's the guy in Milwaukee still. Yeah.
So now it piques his interest. He goes, what is it about? It's about Mr. Benjamin, So one day he says to me, hey, he said, tell that guy to fly in here. I want to talk to him. I said, okay, Left. Tony was a great agent. I mean, he was a former Marine, just a tough guy. That evening, me and Lefty go to the restaurant, and Tony comes. I'm in the middle of Tony and Lefty, right? We're sitting
It's just the three of you, no one else is there?
Yeah, we're sitting at the bar.
Got it.
So now his mindset is, If he doesn't talk directly to Tony, whatever is said, it's not illegal. There's no conspiracy in it. All night the conversation is like, Donnie, tell Tony whatever the question was. Tell Tony what business is he in out there. Tony tells me, Lefty, this is the business he's in. Donnie, tell Tony how many machines he has. You know, it goes back and forth. Now, the next day, we go see Mike Sabella because we can't do anything without the captain. And we explained to Mike Sabella exactly what's going on. So he says, okay, you two guys fly out there. Don't talk to anybody. Just see if he has a business going. So me and Lefty fly to Milwaukee, meet Tony. He takes us to the offices. He shows us he has a warehouse full of machines. He's got a couple trucks, the whole thing. In the mob, one family cannot go into another family's territory and conduct business. You have to get their permission.
And then do you give them 20 points or 10 points or something?
Whatever they want.
Whatever they want.
Yeah. We got to now sit down with our consigliere, the Bonanno family consigliere, right? So we explained to Bobby, his name was Bobby at the time. Now, we have to lie. Not to Bobby, but we got to lie to Chicago because Bobby has to go to Chicago, tell them about our operation. Chicago then tells Milwaukee, and then Milwaukee decides, all right, have them come out and sit down with us. We have to tell Chicago that Tony, the undercover, has been with the Bonannos for 10 years. If we tell them that the Bonannos just met Tony through me.
That seems to be common, though. You read a lot about that, where Capone used to do that. Capone would meet a guy from a swap meet, and he would say, this guy's my guy, he's been with me for a while, and he just met him a week ago. I'm sorry, Gotti would say that. Gotti would say that.
Because otherwise, they would say, hey, you just met this guy.
Why are you doing it?
He's with us. He's in Milwaukee.
Oh, it's not even a doubt part. It's who's going to make the money part.
That's exactly right.
Got it. Interesting.
Exactly right, see? So we fly out there, me and Lefty. When we get the call, be at this restaurant. So me, Lefty, and Tony go to the restaurant, and there's the boss of the family, Frank Bellistreri, his underboss, his two sons, and one of his captains. And we have a dinner. We tell them, exactly what we want because he controls all the vending in Milwaukee and all the towns around it, right? So we'd be infringing on his. The agreement was Tony would do all the work. They would give him stops that he could put the machines in that they didn't have their machines in. Out of that business, the Bonannos would have to give the Ballistreris, I forget what the percentage was, a percentage of the profit.
Was it one of the first victories where you're like, wow, we just got these guys. Now we know we got the family here in Milwaukee and Chicago we can take down.
The Bonannos thought enough of me and trusted me enough to bring them out there. Now, here's another thing that's lost. And we just married two FBI families to conduct business together. Never happened before.
Wow.
Right?
So, Joe, this entire time, how are you staying cool? Like, what is your thought pattern for you? I mean, look, in sports, players get paid tens of millions of dollars every year to stay cool when they're taking a last shot with 2 seconds left, and their life's not on the line. Like, the coach is not saying, hey, MJ, you don't make the shot, we're going to kill you. But with you slip. One slip, and your life is on the line. So what are you doing to make sure you stay cool throughout this entire time?
That goes back to the individual. You never change your personality in the undercover business. You always stay
You never
who you
change
are.
your personality, like DNA, the way you're wired.
That's exactly right.
You're not, okay, got it.
All right, so in other words, I can't have a preconceived notion that all mobsters, are tough guys and drink, because I don't drink. I've never been a drinker. And my thought process and mindset in undercover is I don't change what I would do normally